Hello, I'm Jeff White. I'm an author and investigative journalist. This is the last in my series of how to write a book, or how I go about writing a book. We talked about marketing last time. I chunted on about it. That's everything I learned. However, there are, as a sort of closing bonus video, some things that I've tried with marketing before, some of which I thought were quite canny, some of which I think were probably a complete waste of time. One of the things I did when my first book came out, crime.com, it was during lockdown, and so we couldn't have a book launch party, and we struggled to get copies out to people. And so what I did, as a marketing exercise, we were going to send copies of the book out to influencers. And again, in the previous video, you'll have seen that one of the things you're trying to do with your interest groups is map out who the influencers are. Try and get a copy of a book into their hands and try and get them to, take a selfie with it and put it on social media. That's one of the classic sort of marketing tactics. I wanted to get people interested in this. So I wanted to send them the book in a sort of intriguing presentational package. So what I got hold of were loads of those old manila envelopes used to have in offices that were tied together with a piece of string at the top. And I got hold of loads of old stamps saying like confidential and, for your eyes only and all that kind of thing. I got all these different stamps. I'm not kidding, I dipped the manila envelopes in tea to make them old, and I put like cup stains on them and like scratch and had like stamps and I got old postage stamps from like communist countries and stuck them on and decorated these envelopes and then sent out the books in these envelopes to people. My wife was like, "What are you doing? There's a drying rack full of manila envelopes with tea dripping all over the place. What are you doing?" I have no idea whether it worked, but it was fun. I mean, sod it. Marketing is meant to be fun, right? The other thing is I made an online treasure hunt video. I made a series of videos and posted them on the internet with clues that people could follow. And whoever got there first, got to the final video and emailed me with the final clue in the puzzle, got a free copy of the book. I also said that the next 20 people would get a free sticker, which was an absolute disaster because the next 20 people turned out to live in loads of different countries around the world, and I had to pay loads of postage to send stickers to Brazil or whatever. But hey, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. It was lockdown. The other thing that I've done, which I found quite canny, was when you have your book publication date, on LinkedIn, create a role for yourself, a job, as author of the book, and put the start date of that role as the date on which the book's going to be published. Because with LinkedIn, when your work anniversary rolls around, it sends a message out to everybody in your network saying, "Congratulate Jeff for his new role at," or "but 1 year in his role at." And obviously that's free marketing because people get a reminder that you've just published a book because it's the book publication day. So that I thought was quite canny. I also have business cards printed. On the back of the business card, I have the book cover, a little description, a little title, and then the QR code. So whenever I hand out a card to somebody, on the back there is a QR code where they can buy the book. I've also put that QR code cheekily at the end of some of the presentations I've done at conferences, so people in the audience can snap the QR code. The other thing is with the cover, you will be sent copies of the cover. Make sure you have it in high quality and put it in lots of different formats: landscape, super landscape, square, and so on, portrait, so that you can, whoever asks you for whatever format, whatever social media you're posting to, you've got the right sort of format of cover. Obviously these days, if you've done an audio book, you can get footage of the audio, recording of the audio, lay that over the top of the cover, and then you can come up with a sort of, the words that you're reading out, and you can post that online as a video. That's useful as well. Read out a section of the book and make that an audio share card. You can also set a date about 6 weeks in advance of the publication and make a note to change all of your social media so it's all the book cover, and so the link is in there where people can buy the book. That's going to be super useful. Create a virtual background, so when you're doing Zoom calls and so on, you can have the book cover as your book. That's probably going a bit over the top. What I generally have is the colour of the book cover behind me, and usually like the book title or something. Again, in Zoom and LinkedIn and everywhere, you can change your profile photograph to being you with the book or the book cover, so that whenever anybody engages with you, that's what they see. The other thing is you can set up a mailing list, which again is a good reason, I think, to have a book launch. So inviting people along to the book launch, you will obviously mail them, you have a mailing list then. That's super important because when the book's launched, you can say, hey, here's the book launch and so on. But also reviews on Amazon are really super important. And what you can do is go back to your mailing list a month, maybe 2 months after, and say, hope you enjoyed the book. It'd be really handy if you can get some reviews on Amazon, because those early reviews really do matter. That is about it. That's everything I've ever learned about marketing a book. I really hope you've got some tips and tricks to share as well. If you have, stick them in the comments. Feel free to like and share this one. I honestly don't even pay attention to how much that's happening. I just really hope this has been of use to somebody. Look, Putting a book out was once described to me as like putting another brick in the wall of knowledge, and it is true. Whatever happens with your book, however it goes, however happy or sad you are with the final conclusion, your book is out there. It is forming part of the sum total of knowledge in the world, and that, in my opinion, is pretty much an unalloyed good. I wish you all the best with it. I hope you have many, many successes in the future, and get in touch if you need to know more. Cheerio, it's been fun. Bye-bye.